Hey, welcome. Today's my favorite day. It's the longest day of the year, and it's Solstice. Happy summer solstice to everybody out there, and happy Father's Day as well. All's well in the world as we're at this beautiful place. I call it my special place, and it's in Hotchkiss, Paonia, Colorado, and Big B's, and we have the man, the myth, the legend. God, I love you, man. Brian Freeman, Greg Hollenbeck, and Jeff Schwarts. Good to see you, man.
Great to see you guys. Welcome back to Paonia, North Fork Valley, Big B's. It's always a pleasure to have you guys, especially on Solstice.
4 years. This is our fourth year coming to visit with you, and every year we get to watch you grow, watch this community grow, and the people around you. This isn't just a one thing. This isn't just Jeff Schwartz. This is other people collaborating with you. I mean, where do you even begin? How do you even start?
We started the segment. We started this evening with this mulberry, these big black mulberries, and I just think that the solstice is so special because these mulberries are typically that sweet, and the air is calm, and it's a long, safe, big day, and there's very few worries that I think rhythmically happen on solstice. So cheers to solstice.
We're going to get a tour of the property. We're going to get to talk to Jeff. If Brian and I are doing a lot of talking, then we're not doing our jobs. We want to hear from Jeff Schwartz because you've got a lot of stuff that you can talk about. You asked me earlier what solstice meant to me. Forget about me. What does solstice mean to you?
Honestly, I liked what I just said, and I'd like to come back to that for a sec. But honestly, and Lil knows this, I was saying this today a lot. My favorite part about solstice, the longest day of the year, is that tomorrow it's just a little shorter. And it keeps getting a little shorter. And we're over the hump. And we start to come now down, we have a lot of work ahead and a long summer ahead, but we're not coming towards it anymore. And as an agrarian, as a farmer, and someone who works seasonally like that, I really appreciate the shortest days of the year the most.
Why? Because of time off?
Those are my favorite. Yeah, because time off.
But you got to appreciate that perspective. I mean, that is a shift from in my head to where what you just said. Thank you.
Little joints in here.
Lil, would you agree with that?
I hope more people get that.
Recap, what did you say?
I was just saying I love the shortest days of the year more than the longest
Yeah.
days. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, because we have so much build up to this longest day of the year.
Right.
And this is kind of just the beginning of our longest days of our year.
Right.
And so it's the promise of
the quiet.
We talked about it. So how many months of the year can you farm this property?
Our growing season, because most of the things we do are apple trees. 7 months?
Yeah.
Well, our growing season pretty much starts in April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October-ish. 7 months, yeah.
All right, so people are just tuning in now. It is solstice. It's the 20th of June. This is my favorite day of the year. I do like the light. Light, and it signifies to me just growth and light and beginnings and continuing on. That's me. But describe this property. What do you do here, you guys?
This is a good, we're late in the day on this solstice and the sun is about to go down. We've got a while because it's solstice. But I think what we are seeing, in terms of light and in terms of why this valley is so special is because it catches that big late sun in this bowl. And what we do here is we've taken full advantage of this particular spot and the way the sun hits on it and the way the soil has geologically been right here and the way the water is on this particular place, and we've really seen that and appreciated that, and then we've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to share it with as many people, and that's the efficiency of our place, and our model is the more people we can share this with, the easier our job is because it just spreads out.
Do you think that's part of the, in some way we've been speaking to this today, glacial runoff right through here. You've got incredible minerals. How everyone is resonating and your farmland. And that kind of what he just said, you don't ask a farmer question like that.
That was the farmer's perspective.
Yeah.
And then that's when I want to bring Lil into the conversation. What do you do at Big B's?
We.
What do you do?
What do I do?
What
at
don't you
Big B's?
do?
Oh, I help to make this whole thing is the experience of agriculture in Western Colorado, and we've coupled that with retail, cafe, entertainment, and now camping. And so my role personally is just kind of getting the people in the right places to make that creating that solid foundation of personnel and maintaining that so that we can present this and keep it in this comfortable space of anybody can come off the road and experience this place at its highest experience rather than in the midst of a working farm, which there's nothing wrong with that, but by creating the recreational experience, you get to really reach
There's a lot of movement.
anybody who comes in. Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
movement.
I think Lil's role is fun because she gets to be part of the visionary,
Yeah.
and Lil gets to be part of the nuts and bolts. Well, we all do. We're all executing.
I'm just trying to get the setup of the property, and here's what's cool, because I like to have the perspective of the farmer, and then you have this more marketing perspective of how it ties in, right people, right seat, sit down. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you're in that so much. It's like, okay, really, what is this? Well, here's an outside perspective of someone who just came into this property for the first time ever. Get Jake's microphone up here. When you came down, and there's just this magic about it, but you felt it. You were drawn in by the energy. Just take 30 seconds, Jake, and talk about driving into Big B's.
First of all, microphone check. Good to go. Yeah, it's my first time down here. I mean,
like a quick
I've been in
water
Colorado
commercial.
since '96, and hitchhiked all over the darn place. Thought I had been just about everywhere. I haven't been here. This is it's mind blowing. It is fertile. The greenery is amazing to see. This lush farmland in Colorado. I might never leave, so it's good to meet you guys.
We have a 3-week limit. And then we have to revisit our arrangement.
But this farm is an immersion experience.
This farm is
what I would classify that.
Yeah.
We
Like,
classify it as our experiential retail. We have a 30-acre retail outlet. And so that's what we're doing. We're monetizing, with respect, our landscape and our place. But this place is special because historically and geologically it's special. I believe spiritually it sits at the heart of this particular very special valley, the North Fork of Gunnison River Valley. We've been doing a lot of biodynamic preparations for the last 10 years, pretty regularly, and we are seeing some serious vibration, a lot of fertility work, compost, cover cropping, all the stuff, no till, just ripping, feeding this soil, working now with microbes on a pretty significant level. And we're seeing real fertility, and we're seeing real sustainability in that fertility, where we know how it's easy to add just a little bit now that this system is underway.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting. And that same image of the system underway, and we just need to keep kind of, rolling
well, you're
it,
taking such
is
a
this-
long-term approach at it.
We have.
Right
We're-
now.
We're coming into a sweet spot right now, all in. And even this retail thing, which is just booming, serving food and experience and music, like Lil said, and people really attaching to it right now and really connecting to it because we have figured out we are further along in these systems and our maturity, and it's really fun to be at this stage of development.
It's the 7th day of our road trip, 21 days on the road, a 1,600-mile loop in Colorado, and it just shows you the regions of Colorado and how diverse the land is and how the agriculture changes so much, and the seasonality of Colorado is astonishing to see what farmers and ranchers can do with their land, because it does change so much, from the east to the west of Colorado. I want to take a break right now. I want to show you all the things that we're talking about, but we need to go to this courtyard, and there's music that goes on here Friday and Saturday nights, bands that come in, marketplace and a restaurant that to me is exactly what I want. The sandwich that you have there, that turkey BLT, That's my jam. It's delicious every time, and we want to share this property with you. So we'll take a break. We want to come back. You're going to see our partners, who are local Colorado companies that are working very hard to bring you the best of the best. And we all believe in community and need to work together. So as we come back to Big B's in Hotchkiss, Paonia, Colorado, it's Hotchkiss on when I see the map, but it's Paonia to me. Where are we on the?
We are a mile and a half from Paonia and like 8 from Hotchkiss, but our postal address is Hotchkiss.
Yeah.
And our phone number is Paonia. It's the most
and you come dropping in, and it is just such an experience. We're in love with it, and we just want to share it with you. So we'll take that break. We'll come right back to Big B's with Jeff Schwarts and Lil right here in Paonia, Colorado.
I don't see them. Do you see them?
I don't see them.
I don't know where the heck they are. At least we know they're in Colorado somewhere.
Somewhere.
I'm going to go find them. But in the meantime, let's go back into the chef's playground.
Sounds like a good idea.
Hey, Colorado. Rich O'Brien here with Elevation Food Service Reps. Monica Leonard helping me out here. We just got back into the chef's playground. Big supporters of the Modern Eater. We hope you guys are having a great time out on the road trip. I'm getting kind of excited to go see those guys.
Oh, super excited.
You know, the Modern Eater, we're super, super excited to be supporters, sponsors, and boy, these guys are really doing a lot for the Colorado food service community and all of our restaurateurs, especially as we come out of COVID. What we've got here is what we like to call our chef's playground here at Elevation Food Service Reps, with all the brands that we represent, a lot of best-in-class brands.
Yes.
And Monica's been real helpful in helping get a lot of these events set up for people to come in here. And we want you to feel very confident coming in here to use some of our state-of-the-art equipment. So look us up at elevationfs.com or give us a call over here at 303-750-3727 and just let us know what you'd like to demo. Come see us.
Get you set up.
Yes, we are a Colorado family-owned business. We have our very own Colorado shelf.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Counting down the minutes to where I was going to crack this open and take it home myself, but I decided I would stock you guys up for your road trip.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I support the Modern Eater. Now, back to the show.
All right, Greg. Well, it's a pleasure driving around with everybody, and we're just going to go through the garden here. Jay's trying to get some footage of pumpkins and basil and tomatoes and chilies and melons, hot weather crops. Great for the market, great for you pick, easy to grow. Grapes, raspberries. This is our little aspen grove with goji berries and elderberries.
And none of these things grow quick, by the way, folks.
Apple trees, really nice hedge trees, aesthetic landscape material, old grapes. We've had a lot of grape damage this past fall. We have great fruit out here, though. I'm so excited. We had a huge freeze in late October.
Right?
And it killed cherry trees and grapes. So we see more apple trees and Honeycrisp apples. The diversity that we have in our little farm is really integral to our philosophy of permaculture and just diversification in everything from crops to income stream,
I'm grinning ear to ear as I just want to learn things. I love to just sit and listen to you, Jeff. And as you walk through here, just keep describing, keep talking about how you built this and set it up.
Just a lot of water. Yeah, and like we see our friend Em here. Em is staying with us. Hi, Em.
Hi, Em.
For the next 5 or 6 weeks, and Em's a writer and a gardener, and so she's going to contribute in her way and be here. And that's her tent, and that's her camp. Apricots made it. It's incredible, but there's a small apricot crop out here. Our buddy James is staying here. He's helping us run the apple juice press and cook, so he needs a place for the summer. So being able to provide people places to stay, safe, healthy places for people to stay in this time of hard to find rent, affordable, we feel like it's a good.
Well, Jeff, and
John and Gold apples.
your
Yes, Brent.
beliefs go back to like the symbiosis of the planet and people and how, they interact. I mean, that's so much of what I see from you all around.
Yeah, I think we just have to, we're coming upon real quick. I think that's a really good point, Brian, and I want to talk about it. This is some of the most special area on the property. This is the beginning. This is the first. Hold up for 1 sec, Lil. This is the original house, the Bruce Estate, and it was built about 120 years ago, and it was really one of the first orchard houses in the valley. And the 16 acres that our orchard currently and still sits on was always the traditional orchard, because as you'll see, it's rose above all the surrounding area, so it has the best soil, and it sits in this little high pocket. And for traditionally and historically, they call it the $1 million breeze. Every night comes down from the east.
I'm feeling it now.
It's just starting to switch, and all day it came from the desert, from the west, and it blew up, and it cools off, and then it comes back down. And so this place has been an orchard, and where you see orchards in this valley still is because they are good geographical places where they don't freeze in the spring. Spring freeze, that's our biggest issue. Water is an issue everyone wants to talk about, and it's valid. In farming fruit in the mountains like this, spring freeze, we're right on the edge of being able to be successful. But as you can see, these cottonwoods that Jay just filmed a little bit, we're always trying to be diverse and trying to combine both crops and wild plants. And the pond, for example, it irrigates our crops, but it's also designed for, native species of plants and geese. And we think that's very important to really try to incorporate as much wild energy into these farms.
Well, this
because it gives
symbiosis of the planet and the people that are trying to what are we trying to get out of it? And if you give back to the planet the way
that's the point.
You've done it right here. I love this.
We're just in the process of learning and feeling it and be like, oh, look, feel it. It feels good. We're sharing. And it reverberates, and then the more it does.
We're chasing the sun right now.
Chasing the sun. 85, 90-year-old pear trees, red and green Bartletts. They're so old that the red Bartlett pears are becoming green again from the roots, This, like I said, this is just our most precious commodity, obviously, this water. Yeah. And that's a really old irrigation right, the farmer's ditch, and it flows like that. It has for the last, from the beginning, 100 and so years, from mid-April through beginning of October, just like that.
Yeah.
And then from here
the concern is late. That's what you're saying. The freeze is in the beginning of the season.
The concern is that if Lake Mead drops below this certain number and they start calling water from Colorado, that's when the real concern. And that's when they say, see ya, shut it down, because we're sending it all the way through for that oldest right. And that's really what we're waiting to see, That's what the drought.
What's the temperature of that water?
It's probably coming off it's coming off the river, so I don't know, 60 degrees, Lil, 55?
Probably.
Go lay in it, Brian.
Go lay in it.
I was in the pond earlier today.
Were you really?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
floated around that today for a second.
Let's go by the pond, see where we store all this water, and then we'll keep looking at campsites.
So, when did you come across this property, and how is it available to you?
We were running the juice plant down in Hotchkiss since 2000, and in 2005 or so, 6, the guy who was working for me, I think his name was Jay, actually.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, man, I have some money, and this property had been for sale for years, really." And I said, "I'd love to come look at it." This is a while back, and he said, "Would you take care of the fruit if I buy the property?" I said, "Sure." And then I said, "Hey," because we were doing some retail at the time at the cider mill in Hotchkiss, way off the highway, and I said, "I'd love to do the retail here as well. I'd love to rent that." And anyway, long story short, he dropped out. We looked at this place. Bob Cokes and Maxine Cokes lived here and ran it. as the Koch's Fruit Ranch, and I had taken Dagan, my 18-year-old son, here to pick cherries when he was a baby. You pick, and my family, my brother Seth and Dad, we said, let's buy this place. And Bob Koch's helped us. He carried some of the note, and we were
Look
able
at
to
that
put it
sun
together.
setting over that.
There it is, the
hill,
last.
you guys, it's just the last little bit of that.
You know, a lot of times when somebody calls a great football game or any kind of sporting and something fantastic happens, just to let it be quiet and let it happen around you. And I think that you experience that right now. Truly special. Where are we right now?
We are sitting at the outlet of our pond, of our first pond, and this is our little sub meditation pond and yoga pond.
Where I went swimming today.
Did you dunk in this one?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was nice.
You can do that?
I've never dunked in this.
Oh, not the little one. I dumped in the big one up there,
This
right?
little one could be really nice.
Jeff, you always give us great content.
Get in there.
If I had a bathing suit, I would sit in there. You have a bathing suit, huh?
I floated around the big one.
It's so
I
nice.
thought that's what you were talking about. Sorry.
Was it
Yeah.
nice and refreshing?
And there's little patches of cold
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hot, and and it was only the first 6 inches was the different temperature.
Yeah.
If you went lower than that, it was its own temperature. I was loving it out there. I was just
like it.
floating around. Yeah, it was great exercise. Yeah.
So as the word's gotten out and folks are, I believe, coming far and wide, who are some of the folks that you're meeting that are coming through, that some of the stories you're hearing from people? What does this property
Bill,
attract?
I mean, what do you think about the people that come here?
Hold on.
What do you think, Lil?
Come on, Lil.
We have a lot of local tourists, Colorado, Texas, and California. Those are our big ones. I always think that because we are kind of between Aspen and Telluride, that's where people, kind of come through here. But definitely since COVID, we've had more and more people like coming here. And I think that the Front Range is really discovering it. And yeah, I think we're kind of just establishing like a more regular clientele than what we've had. And that's cool to see. We have people that book a campsite. They live like over on the Front Range that book a campsite at least once a month that come out here.
I know it's cool when you're in Denver. It's cool to like go camping and it's maybe an hour away or something like that. But I look for cool camp spots that just make me feel good, and I'll drive the 4 hours. What is it, 4 hours, Brian, from Denver to here?
Yeah, just about
4 hours.
But the nice thing is this time of year you can take McClure.
Yeah. Check out the website. There's a website, and I just Google Big B's camping, and it comes up. We have an RV. You can get it right online.
It's a nice show. That's
The convenience of online and online camping.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Really where it's at.
And really, to camp in a place that has a cafe and a bar, like, why would you camp anywhere else?
Super.
You know?
Talk about that bar
Yeah.
stuff too. So you guys, what do you serve just cider here?
Cider and local wine.
And local wine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your ciders are fantastic.
Well, but it's Greg, in this area, you need to have the whole it's immersion experience because you come here and I don't know, it's a magical place, but you get to see things growing that you consume. You get to be a part of it. You get to touch it, feel it. I was thinking about this when I'm floating in this pond today. I mean, and the fact that this water is like life for everything, and it's giving me life, and how that it's amazing, Jeff.
Well, it's hard to explain the magic, and maybe we're just Brian. Maybe you and I, or we're just tied up in the city all the time, and we have so many frequencies going through us. But when we say this is truly just a magical place, it's hard to quantify whether the wellness is here or whether this attracts people that have wellness that come here. I just did a small bike ride through here this morning, and there was a yoga retreat going on. There were folks that are...
That's on the extreme level.
Really?
We don't always have the yoga
We
retreats.
don't also
You don't?
have yoga retreats.
I mean, it's
No,
wonderful.
but
I think where people are connecting to
Yeah.
is there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of the bar and the restaurant, and I think there's a level of realism. It's a farm, and there's a level of kind of freedom that we see the kids have. The kids are riding their bikes from the campsite to the swing, and I sense in a lot of the families that I see walking around early in the morning or in the evening, and the kids, that they feel a lot of almost timelessness and freedom, and I think that's we for some reason we've done a nice job in just kind of allowing that to be.
When you moved into the dome, what was around you? Was there anything going on? Did you have camping happening? Did you?
No, when we took over, it was just the farm stand, and I was actually just telling Lil, we've been now here long enough that the peach, there were some old peach trees that were dying, and there's some peaches on them, and they were killer, and I was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do with all these peaches? And I was like, oh right, it's a U-Pick place. So I put the U-Pick sign out, and people came and they picked the peaches. And that, I could just remember, I was telling Lil this, and I would put the money in this little box, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, we obviously had a big mortgage and stuff, but it felt like free money. And I was like, people are coming and they're picking their fruit and they're super happy and they're giving us cash, and I remember that being a real launching point for just that stream of passion, of trying to create all this value that people can take and happily, pay you for it.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
Brian.
I was just going to say, it's the concept. What he has created is what everyone says. I want to be a farmer, and this is like what would be what you think farming is. What in your dream, like this is it. But I will tell you, there's been so much hard work, and this guy driving trucks in the middle of the night to make deliveries, setting up farmers markets. I mean, going from dinner and trying to be with friends to driving right from there to go to a market. And there was so much to get to this pinnacle, I think. But I think it was because of his vision of the way you thought.
It never for and again, it's not about me, but in terms of the work, you're right. We've been working at this project for 20 years, all the time. It doesn't stop, but it's never felt like work. I know that's cliche, but it's true for me. Does it get arduous sometimes? And of course, but for me, because there was a lot done here, from the land, from building it to drive to Denver to build big. And it was just life, and that for me was the best part because my kids Dagan and I were able to be with Tracy and I, and it was just constant life and family and work and food and it was we were blessed because there was never separation, and that allowed, and especially when we moved here to the farm about 9 years ago or so, that's really when it settled down and just became life and not work.
You'd think this was a centennial farm that generations had worked to come to this point.
That's just the coffee and it just speeds up time.
I love catching up with Jeff. All right, we're going to break. We're going to come right back, and we'll continue on at Big B's right here in Paonia, Colorado.
Studio Kitchen here, guys, delivering some butter for your road trip.
So what you doing in my parking lot?
So Sawaj is a artisanal company that focuses on European-style butter and cheeses. Yes, so we have our 84% European-style butter, grass-fed butter. This one is 100% grass-fed butter, over 84% butter fat content, which means there's more butter fat, less water. Cooks better at higher temperatures, perfect for baking.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that.
Look at the color of that.
That's the first thing that our customers notice.
What?
This is a new release. We don't even have it out yet, Greg. This will be going to retail this weekend.
Oh, look at that. Thanks again.
Absolutely.
Martine.
Man,
Later.
thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Farm box foods.
We are a company who builds farms and shipping containers, so we make hydroponic and gourmet mushroom farms.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, do it, man.
Doing good.
I love this.
I
just want the Jeff Schwarts show.
We got, picnic areas and camping spots and glamping decks. And when we get there, we'll show you our new bathhouse that we built. 2 beautiful showers. And
So wait, Jeff, those aren't your yurts. Those are just for other people setting
those
up?
are those glamping tents are for renting out, and we've put water stations throughout the orchard for people to fill. So we've really raised our game, too. We've really upped our game. These nectarines are really doing great.
Look at these townhomes.
Got a great little duplex. We call it the cabin. My mom and dad built it primarily for them, and when they're not here, we're happy for people to use it. And young apple trees. These are our young peach trees here.
I was here when they were
Yeah,
planted,
you sure were. They
right
look
there.
good, right?
Yeah, during 420. That was fantastic. And
Yeah.
again, that stuff that you're seeing right there, check it out. It's available online for you to rent, too, if it's available.
Yep, and this is where those peaches were, where we first started. We're planting back in it. And this is some more camping, peach lane camping. People get a kick out of it. You know why? Because it's not very expensive, and they've got a picnic table and a fire and a little bit of orchard, and you can tie a hammock up.
Brother, is
and again,
gorgeous,
you're free
right
to be
there.
you and
I'll
me.
tell you, yeah.
What? How can you build on this? What's in your mind?
We're going down. We're going to build. Lilia, let's go down and do you want to get some campers? You want to
Sure.
Sorry, let's stick to plan. Sorry, Lil.
We just wanted to race, Lil.
I'm trying to direct.
Come on, race.
This is the mind of a dreamer. This is how it works, and I love it, Jeff. I love.
How are you guys?
You are, man. Because a guy like you creates a vision like this and makes it all happen.
I don't even create it. I just kind of keep
Continue
kicking things off and then
it.
just keep this is our orchard camping. We call it Welcome to Orchard Camping here, and there's about 12 or 14 sites, and people are really high. There's a lot of fucking people in
Yeah,
here.
it is.
And look, it's great revenue for the farm. You're hearing about this happening, farm camping experiences. And we've put together, Lil and I came out here this early spring and really dialed up.
This land is really important. Do you feel that people come in here and respect your property?
Yes, very much so. We have some, but the trees are very resilient. The land is resilient. It's a good challenge for us. We have to provide enough energy to this place to withstand a lot more impact than a standard organic orchard,
Yeah.
And so we're doing our best. We try not to stress about it.
Well, and you're lucky because you know where all this fruit is going, and you know the production.
Oh yeah. This 15 acres of fruit. These are all Fujis and Galas and Rome apples. Bob Cokes had planted all this. Here's our tailwater. This is the end of the water that we saw, Jay. Right here. That's where it leaves the property.
And goes back into the river or what?
Goes back into the river. We're fortunate to be able to send it back into the river. These are Jonagold apples that we planted a few years ago. They've been wonderful. Probably our most productive crop block that we planted ourselves. Goldens and pink ladies. See all these roads, we flattened them out. We did all this infrastructure work this spring so we can get RVs through all this, and there's very little hassle and people getting stuck. That was a big deal.
Was it?
Oh, every week we have to pull someone out, and it was not their fault. It was our fault because we invited them in, on like 6 foot road.
I love how you look at that, Jeff, where you just own it. And you're just like, hey, man, I brought you here. If you get stuck, let me help you.
Lil and I have really worked a lot on responsibility because we're so responsible to so many people, really, that we have to take, first and foremost, it's our own.
Very few people, Jeff, in life approach it that way anymore, where they take responsibility for what's going on around them.
Look at this. We got our yeah, bro, totally. But it's working. We got our wood lot because now people have so many campfires, so we have a wood lot.
And these days, that's more valuable than you know.
I know. We just sell the wood and the water.
If you were to look into a crystal ball, what would you see this 10 years from now?
Jay, I'm going to go in here and open this door so you can see the kids' skate pipe. This.
Are they skating
I
now?
think we're going to be good. I am. We're just going to circle back home in a bit. Ooh, that was a nice warm breeze.
That was wonderful.
Wasn't it?
Nobody's skating.
I don't even think you could see in there, but the kids themselves, all the kids around here built this beautiful little half pipe. It's like a 4 foot drop by like a 9 foot run. Or no, more, 15 foot run. And these kids are ripping.
We saw some video from it. We put it actually on the air the other night.
What's cool about it is they were terrified of it. And now they're doing it. And now when they're going to these skate parks, normal ones, they're all just like skating in slow motion.
Oh, really?
Because, the transitions are proper.
Yeah.
These are like, all right, Lily, you're going to take us down the hill.
I love it. Not only is it farmer, he's talking about transition on his half pipe.
Out that way towards the pond to the frisbee golf.
She got it.
Em, do you want to jump on?
Yeah. What do you think of that 10-year question? You don't like it?
No, I love that question. I think that I'll still be here doing the things that I love to do here. Today was the first farmers market that I didn't really. I'm transitioning out of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Farmers market. That's a big one. That's a high energy one. These kids can do it. They've been doing it their whole lives.
Isn't it wild how much energy it takes? People don't realize the amount of emotional energy.
I don't do any selling at farmers markets anymore, and I'm adamant about it this year. I can't do it. I can't stand out front.
This is actually where we are parked.
There it is.
Last night.
Sunseeker.
Saturday night. It was popping. The music was playing. Sun was going down. Just community of people coming together. But now here's something new that I haven't seen. The addition this year is this piece of land right over here. You've got a friend or a partner that you've brought onto the property. Talk about that.
So we just drove. Yeah, you're right. We went through the inner field camping into the new property. This is another 15 acres to our west, and it's our next project of development. It's going to be our music venue, our bigger music venue, our big parking lot.
Whoa! First and foremost, it's a frisbee disc.
And disc golf. We have a disc golf course that is just in, and we're going to start making it more creative. And this is the pond, so the whole design starts from this big 1 acre surface area pond that we're in the process of designing and digging, and we're filling it with water now, and it's holding good water. And this pond is going to be really it's going to be important. It's to be able to store a lot of water is invaluable.
Well, it's a nucleus for you to be able to put in more trees, right?
And it is. It'll be another central point of an oasis, really, of deep, good water for storage and for recreation and camping and shade trees and a food forest. There's a food forest actually going in conjunction with federal government money and ditch project. Wetlands restoration right just on the other side of this little fence. So we're really designing a big 30-acre food forest and I think appropriate recreation space.
And all that, and that's that land down there, Jeff, is between you and the river, right?
Yeah, and they're using that 15-acre basically wetland to restore it into healthy native species, shrub, forbs, grasses, So stuff that really can, and it's going to be perfect because it's sitting on a water table. And
Are we too dry for fern and things like that back in that wetland, or is that?
I don't know. Fern, Lil, is fern a native? Do you know?
I don't think in that area.
No.
Colder.
Let's go out and up the hill and head home on the wide loop, and we'll go by Wynn's and Amber's nursery, the Oasis Nursery, a permaculture-based style native plant nursery that we're so happy to be collaborating with. It's a perfect space. It's a perfect teaming up of space and effort.
Well, I bet the locals love a nursery because indigenous plant nurseries have become a big
cool
thing. And so
it's nice
I love
to be able to go
that.
by aspen trees and fruit trees and elderberry shrubs. And Wynn is a big nursery grower at his farm. And if you remember last year, you guys were here, that was just a big boggy wetlands. And Dagan and I took a track hoe and just started digging at it. Remember that? That was gnarly. And we just started hammering on it and eventually built a road. Sometimes you're like, take a bobcat from like the pond, like this summer, like this spring, I was like bobcatting some buckets, like doing a lot of, and I'd be like driving a bobcat worth of gravel like somewhere, and I felt like a crazy man. You know, like the dude's like digging something like one bucket at a time, but he can't stop. I was like, fuck, am I that guy?
Well, and those are like those week-long projects that you're like, what did I just get started on?
Oh, I know, it's
and
crazy.
You can't give up on them.
You're just like spinning on it.
But isn't that somewhat like meditation sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Just getting on that tractor and working it for a little while. It's
wonderful. This has become, in this design, this new development, this is the parking. This is our festival and main parking lot. And we could park,
Festivals? What kind of festivals are you going to do?
We do a lot. Every Friday night we do live music, and it's a whole festival vibe and a whole festival feeling. And we park 200, 300 cars, and you can see the beautiful nursery that these guys, year one, they just did a phenomenal job.
Actually, so remember, Greg, we met him at breakfast today.
We did. Wind, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great grower, great permaculturalist, great friend.
Did he approach you, or was this?
We approached each other. It was just one of those things where it just happened.
Look
and
at that.
Worked out great. Beautiful.
The beginning of such great stories. Does Wynn live there?
No. That's just the shop. That's just the storefront. Yes, Wynn lives there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wynn.
Yeah, hey, man.
These are going to be 2 waterfalls that we're going to landscape in. So this will be our new entrance because we're moving our driveway back up this way. So this will be the main entrance next year. This will be all entryway, archway. 2 big waterfalls here as our main.
Oh, so you're pushing parking away from the front of the store.
We're closing this off, and we're entering the new the property from there from now on, and we'll be coming up to park here. But we'll be coming through the grand, if you will, entrance.
Nice.
The swings are a hit.
The swings are a big hit.
Constant
we thank Jeffrey, tree
Jeff,
guy, for that.
I love it. And you, the evolution of what has this property has become,
We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Just come full circle. This is what you see when you come in.
Why did we have the cones here all weekend? Oh, my God. That's like the classic,
Yeah.
Like all weekend we've had like 1 million people here, and they see our garbage work cones. It's unbelievable.
Come back to Big B's just a second.
We have one.
Yes. Scott Jones, my friends, what's happening?
Yep.
Do you mind if I dig in?
Dig in.
Let's dig in. All right. Woo, boy, I know this. Let's start with this, though, because this is on my breakfast table all the time.
Yep, got the staples here. You got to have eggs. You got to have milk.
This is the best bacon right here ever.
The Polidori family supplying us with chorizo, heavy cream for the chefs, right? Natalie's strawberry lemonade, a legendary chocolate milk.
I'll tell you what.
Here we go. Well, welcome back, guys. So we're back to the nucleus of the whole thing, the core, our retail outlet where all the food and all of the fruit and everything gets sold and offered. So let's go in. These guys just closed up after a huge monster 3-day weekend. They're so happy to be out of here, but we turned the lights back on and we've got Lilia as at the bar. So we'll go grab ciders, kombucha for Jay. Anything else you guys want? We're walking through the courtyard.
Jeff, this is your interface. This is where the average person that doesn't want to go pick, doesn't want to go engage, you can come right here and pick up a sandwich, pick up a drink.
Yeah, we're
You've got an
walking in
ice
here,
cream in here.
Yeah, we do. We have third bowl ice cream from
It's a
Crested
place
View, good
to
friends
chill
of ours.
out. And I was looking at these lavender. By the way, come and buy one of these.
These are gorgeous.
Are just,
yeah, from Palisade, our good friend Paola.
Oh.
She's a great lavender and cherry grower, although the cherry crop froze. But yeah, we have local produce from our friends. We carry obviously our juices and our jams and our jellies and honeys from local beekeepers and our eggs.
And this is what most people know Big B's all about, is the juices and then the ciders. And when you're in Denver, you see this on the shelves and you go, okay, well, this has to be a place. Well, this is the place. This is what you're looking at right now. You are at Big B's and they are just shut down. I can tell the floor is freshly mopped, and Jeff, you opened it up to us. Thank you so much. This is my happy spot, and I wanted to end where we began, and that's just full circle, and that's your philosophy of doing regenerative farming.
Yeah.
Should we end having a
let's
for us?
go out to our bar, which really
glass of cider
signifies a lot about what we're doing. Yeah, it's the third bowl ice cream. Our friends from Crested Butte making all real ingredient, all fresh dairy. Incredible ice cream makers out of Crested Butte. They've moved to Hotchkiss recently. Dear friends.
I love how you let little
this
people
was a good
come in
this collaboration
with that collaboration.
And this has always been our cider bar here. And we try to keep a bunch of special. Sean Larson, we try to let him just keep fun ciders, and you guys met Sean. Did you go to Sean's
And we
today?
went to Chrysalis today. So
Sean's a great
the tie-in,
fermenter.
He's been winning awards with you for your cider and started his own brewery over there.
Bring it on through.
And Lil is serving ciders. What do you guys want? Whatever.
Thanks for showing us around. We're going to go have dinner right now. We've smoked a couple of chickens. We're going to have some tacos.
Should we grab ciders and go get
let's
make a
grab
feast?
ciders. Yep.
Anything special? I love your cherry days, right? It's the cherry.
What is on tap, Lil?
Yeah.
We have the.
Oh, grab microphone
There
here.
we go. All right, we got our four main flavors: the Lazy Days, Cherry Days, Harvest Apple, Orchard Original. We have a watermelon cider.
Oh, get out of town! It's mine.
The California, which is a Gravenstein single variety, One Night Fruit Stand, and a citrus punch. Seltzer.
Oh, that's right. It's your new seltzer.
Our new seltzer.
There you have it.
So all these ciders are different, and they're dry and sweet and different flavors. And Sean does just a great from sours, and the California has been my favorite. It's a Gravenstein, like Lil said, single variety apple out of California, with traditional cider apple. Early, we love pressing it, and it's making it for a great, exquisite. I think it's like a French style cider.
Done.
I like it.
California for me.
Wow.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks, Lil.
You bet.
Just wonderful.
It should be a nice dinner tonight.
You guys rock. All right. We're going to
Thank
call
you.
quits. Yeah, happy Father's
Thanks,
Day.
Ro.
Happy Solstice, and thank you guys
I would love
for
it in
tuning in
California.
every single
Please.
year. This is the 4th annual Solstice at Big B's. We'll be back year 5, and why not? Because it's the best of the best. It's a kind of our secret, but we want to share it with you, and it's my happy place. Come enjoy it yourself. Thanks again. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to go have dinner. The Modern Eater Show. We'll be in Telluride tomorrow. Tune in then. Kick the rock down the road.